Calgary Stampede went into Ward Paddock and up towards it.
Well, hello everybody, it's Suffolk Andy here, standing on the banks of the Orwell River at Wolverston Marina, where all the big rich people have their boats and yachts and everything else. You can see the Orwell Bridge down there. If I went further down there, there's even bigger yachts. Mind you, they'd probably throw me out if I went down there on a bike. They'd probably think I'm a bloody Viking turning up to friggin' rape and pillage again. But that's another story. Anyway, that's the Orwell River. And up there is the Royal Harwich Yacht Club, very posh. I don't know why they call it the Harwich Yacht Club, because Harwich is not even on this river, it's on the next river down. But it's called the Royal Harwich Yacht Club. Anyway, been very busy, lots of things to do, only got about half an hour. And I thought I'd do a quick vlog because I'm finding it very hard to fit them in. So with everything what's going on, I will fill you all in on that later in another vlog, but it's not good. Anyway, let's go for a ride. Yeah, I done something today, or watched something today that I have never watched in all my life, and that's being an old git. I can't understand why I haven't. But I did do today. I had no choice where I was. I saw what was on the TV. I actually watched the opening of Parliament by the Queen, where she turns up to Parliament and reads out what the government's going to do next year, and then buggers off back to the palace. Well, like I say, I've never seen this before, so I did watch it all. It's full of, you know, pomp and ceremony and people dressed up in wigs and clothes that they used to wear about 200 or 300 years ago, and the Queen had the crown on her head, and she had the mad Greek with her husband, Prince Philip, who is as mad as a friggin' hatter, but there you go. And she opened Parliament for next year. She came down from Buckingham Palace in a brand new coach. This brand new coach covered in gold and everything else. I should imagine it probably cost a little bit more than what most people get on job search, you know, or job seekers, I would imagine. I don't know if she paid for it or we paid for it or whatever, I don't know. But if we paid for it, try telling that to somebody who can't find a place in a hospice because they're dying and she's got a new friggin' coach. You see where I'm coming from? Anyway, let's go over. When she got there, we had a bloke called Black Rod. He's got a big rod thing, and he goes off from the House of Lords to the House of Parliament. And just as he get there, they slam the door on his face, and he bangs on the door, boom, 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 3 times. And they asked him who he is, and they let him in. And he goes up there and says, "The Queen want to see you, mob." And off they all go and stand in there with the Queen, and she reads out what the government's going to do next year. Nothing to do with her at all. She's supposed to be the head of the government and everything else, but she ain't got no say in it at all. That's another story. Anyway, when I look at all them politicians sitting in the House of Commons, let's go through one or two of them. You had Cameron, the Prime Minister. When you looked at him, he's got a face like a slapped friggin' arse. All red and friggin' look like somebody just slapped him fucking 10 times. And his gob's so full up like he's got a plum in it. Friggin' Eton boy, friggin' rich boy. You know, what a tosser. He's never fucking struggled in his life. He's a multi-millionaire. Then you looked over there and there was Clegg, the Liberal Democrat. You know, the guy who knows he's not even going to be around next year. He's not even going to win his own seat. He sold his soul to the devil, and he looks like a man with the devil back, taking it back. You know, he knows he's finished. He knows his party's finished. You know, they sold out for power that they can never got in there in the first place. It's unforgivable. And then you look at Labour. The Labour bloke, he looks like he comes out of a cartoon, bloody Womit and Gromit, whatever you call him. Honestly, he looked like a Thunderbird puppet, you know. And then you looked at all the rest. They look like friggin' aliens. They're grey. Theresa May, she looks like a friggin' alien. She's as grey as anything. Her skin is grey. I'm sure they're friggin' aliens, you know. But anyway, what a bunch of tossers. And I'll tell you this, you know, a lot of us people now are just sort of disillusioned by them. You know, we just think they got the snakes in the trough. And I've got to go along with that myself. You know, they're not listening to anything we're saying at all anymore. You know, we had an election the other day, and it was pretty obvious that a vast swathe of the country wants something different. Probably only a protest vote, but it was a vote against them. And they're taking no notice whatsoever. Because they think they're the political elite. And they think they can do what they like, and we just go along with it. Oh well, we can't do nothing. And the trouble is, in this country, there's no alternative to them. That's what gets you. And if you try and get an alternative to them, the system works against you, and you just can't win anyway. So that's a shame. But going back to the Queen, I'm not sure about the monarchy. I really am not. I don't know if it's, you know, prevalent today in 2014 as it was in 1314 or 1014. I don't know. But the only thing I will say is I really do not understand the royal family, you know. I don't think for 1 minute I would support them at all. But there again, I wouldn't do anything against them either. A lot of people say, oh, they bring loads of tourists into London and, you know, this thing, and they go around the world shaking hands and listen to the freaking Aborigines jump around with didgeridoos and a load of people in Borneo swinging from the friggin' trees on friggin' vines, you know, and that sort of stuff. You know, it's all well and good, but what does it do for us? And she can't help being married to a mad friggin' Greek with a goofy son, Prince Charles, who talks to trees and plants, you know, who decided to get rid of his lovely looking wife for a friggin' old grandma. You know, it's up to you. Your eyes, you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. We have been down here before. This is Pym Mill. Would it be better to be the, I don't know, the Republic of Great Britain or something like that? You tell me. I don't know. I'm not sure on that one. But I'm not a great fan of the Queen, I must admit. Do you think they bring in a lot of money into the country, or do you think they take more out on what they give? You know, why should somebody have 5 or 6 houses to live in all over the place? You know, and they're not little houses, not little council house, you know, in Manchester or on Ipswich or anywhere else. They're friggin' great mansions, you know. So should they have all that wealth and luxury? Well, so many people are struggling. You've got a government that's declared war on poor people and disabled, and these people are living the life of Riley. I don't know. Really don't know. Suffolk Andy.